welcome back to a Mike Full podcast. With the draft looming away, we're almost only 7 days away from the draft, so we wanted to start to look closely to our favorite team, the Oakland Raiders, and what they're going to do days 1, 2, and 3. I want to just get into it. I have a lot right here of what I see happening for the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth round. So the Raiders are up at 12. Now, Johnny, you had this pick in our mock draft. Where do you see this going in possible scenarios? Let's say all three wide receivers are on the board.
All three receivers on the board. I personally want CD for his just how aggressive he is, and especially after the catch.
Yeah.
I think we go Judy because that's what Gruden likes, route runner, like a scheme guy. And I think Ruggs fits us the best as far as what we need, because we need speed, because we have Tyrell Williams, who's not a speed guy by any means. He's a go up and get it kind of guy. Our possessive guy. Hunter Renfro, another guy, not fast at all. He's more agile, and he's our slot guy. So, Ruggs will just take the top off, open the field a little bit better, which I think he's our better scheme fit, which if we go that route, I see us trading back a couple spots. Maybe with the Bucks or the Falcons. But I don't think we take the risk of the Broncos taking Ruggs if that's who they're going to want to go after. But I don't know if they would trade with the Broncos. Because I could see the Broncos wanting to jump up in front of the Niners and taking, getting their choice of one of the receivers, or even going the route of a corner. So, if they want CJ Henderson, if they want to, I don't think we'd swap with the Broncos just because it's our division and whatnot.
Yeah, there's also talks that Broncos want to move up in Cleveland's spot and possibly take a wide receiver. And my choice is CeeDee Lamb. Everything that you've said, I agree with. I want CD. I think they might take Judy. Now, if the Broncos jump up to the 10th pick and they take their, possibly Judy, the number one wide receiver taken, or CD, then the Jets, they take the opposite. They take the other. If Broncos gets Judy, they get Lamb. If Broncos get Lamb, they get Judy. Now, that would mean Ruggs is at the 12th for us. He's our last choice. Do you see us taking him? Do you think we go to a different defensive position?
If Ruggs is our only choice, I could see us trading back to maybe get that second round pick that we need to a team that maybe they want Ruggs and they know they need to just jump in front of the Niners to do it. Or we just make our pick, and honestly, at number 12, I take CJ Henderson over Henry Ruggs. That's just because there's just a fall off at corner after him, and I think he has more upside than Okudah. I think he's more athletic. So I could see I would prefer CJ Henderson there, and then getting Justin Jefferson at 19. Or even trading back a couple more spots and taking a Denzel Mims or someone.
Yeah, I think I can't really get myself getting behind Justin Jefferson, just because of the limited routes and kind of playing slot, and we have Hunter Renfro. That's the only reason we need. I would take Ruggs at 12 in this scenario. I'm taking Ruggs. I'm intrigued by Ruggs, to be quite honest. In terms of wants, and I'm not ranking these wide receivers, I want Lamb, Ruggs, then Judy. Ruggs just has the X factor that I want. I mean, he's the Tyreek Hill going to the Raiders, and I think in a division with Tyreek Hill, I do it, especially because I think he would go to the Broncos otherwise. You know, in this scenario, we kind of reverse it. They get Lamb and we get Ruggs.
I mean, Ruggs does fit our scheme, but if they want the better corner in the draft other than Okuda, I think they take Henderson and then trade back from 19, giving us an extra a second round pick that we need, and then taking like a Jalen Rager, who's similar to Ruggs with speed, who could be that speed guy for us, and still let Williams be our possession guy, and doesn't touch Renfro in the slot.
Yeah, that is something we could end up doing. I also kind of like, which I guess I don't want to segue quite yet. I'm gonna pause because I'm gonna edit this out. So, what would be another defensive player that you could see possibly falling in this scenario where maybe it's too good to pass up at the 12th spot? I wrote Javon Kinlaw just because I think he could fall to the 12th, where I'm a bit intrigued. He'd be he's the second best defensive tackle, and that's in a scenario where these wide receivers go off the board and a defensive player slips in this scenario.
Okay, let's just say for whatever reason, CD, Judy, and Ruggs are all off the board. Because I mean, it could be Jets, a team trade up, or even just the Browns, because they're debating about trading Odell right now. He's on the trade block, so I mean, maybe they take because I don't think they're gonna get a top 10 pick. They'll probably get, maybe if anything, they'll get a mid, like a 20 plus pick. I think they'll get, if anything. If not, maybe like just like a second, a third, something like that. I mean, I think they could get a first, considering the Vikings got a first for Stephon Diggs. But let's just say they take CD or Judy, whoever. The Jets take one, and then let's just say the Jaguars take one, or just a team before a team trades up in front to get, with the Jags, and they get a receiver.
Or even an offensive lineman. There's talks that Jacksonville might trade back.
Yeah, I think in the perfect world, if Simmons falls.
I don't ever see Simmons falls. Okuda and Simmons I have erased from my mind at this point in time.
I don't, just because a lot of mocks and everything have him going to the Panthers. But then what if the Panthers decide to go Derek Brown or a player like that? Because the reason I could see Simmons falling is because I could see him because he could play everywhere. So I could see a team being overwhelmed by that and not knowing where to play him.
Yeah.
Like I could see that, and then like kind of like a Jabril Peppers. Like he was like a hybrid kind of guy that could really play anywhere. And he went to the Browns late in the first.
Mean, would this be similar to Derwin James more recently? Didn't they have Derwin James top 10 at least, and he fell late into the draft, at least into the 20s for Chargers to pick him up.
Yeah, I think he fell to like 18th, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because he was before the Raiders pick, because I really wanted him. And the Raiders, that's the year I think that's the year the Raiders took Conley.
No, I think that was Cole Miller, I believe, and we were before him.
Oh. Did not. Yeah, so I mean,
similar to that.
Yeah, Simmons could fall, just
if maybe just Simmons falls, or Derek Brown, just ones that you thought were going to go within well into the top 10, early, like 6, 5, possibly even 3, you take that. Just because, like you've been saying, you get Reagor for some speed. You got Denzel Mims, who had an awesome combine. We're going to go over wide receivers, but this wide receiver class is deep. I mean,
Yeah,
it is. It
I
is.
personally think that if, like, let's say Derek Brown falls to us at 12, I say we trade out of that because it's. I
If
mean,
who
he's a
falls out to
great
who?
player, but at the same time, we don't need a D tackle. We have
Wait, you said if who falls to who?
Derek Brown. If he falls, like, if
Okay.
he falls to 12th,
Mhm.
if he falls to the 12th pick, I think that's our trade bait for a team that wants a D tackle and wants to like jump up in front of like the Niners or the Falcons,
Yeah,
or
because
even the Bucks, a team like that. Because like the Bucks, I can see them taking Derek Brown just because. Um, I mean, he'll learn from. They have Ndamukong Suh right now, who's he's a little older now. He could like kind of learn some technique from him as far as the pass rush, because I know his pass rushing was like a little question mark there. He's more of a run stuffer.
yeah, and there are defensive linemen in the third round that are run stuffers.
Yeah,
So no, I agree with that.
because I really like Mo Hurst for the Raiders.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, so
Who's the other defensive tackle?
we have
that
PJ Hall. We have they picked up
Oh, Cowboy.
They brought Collins in. They even brought back what's his name? We had him there last year. Collins. We have PJ Hall, Jonathan Hankins,
Ah, yeah.
and Mo Hurst. That's why I mean I think all those guys are going to be on a rotation, and even I saw Cleveland Farrell was even rotating into the inside last year,
Yeah.
which he excelled in the run stop. So
Yeah. Which this segues perfectly to the 19th pick, which I say draft the best defensive player available, without a doubt. And that's kind of where my mindset is still similar with 12. Because, yes, there are areas that are shore up. But even when you, Maurice Hurst, Jonathan Hankins, even when you say our safeties are locked, yeah, there's more pressing needs, but no one screams like a game changer. And that's why I think in the first round, when you have two of these, I think we go out and get game changers on any level of the defense if they're falling to us. I think we definitely go need, and that's why I have cornerback. But I think if anything falls to you at 19 that is too juicy to not pick up, you pull the trigger.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If the 3 receivers are gone by number 12, let's say we trade back, get stock up on second round picks. I say we trade back again at 19.
Yeah.
And if we don't get a second, maybe we could get 2 seconds out of it, or even an extra third. That's 3/3 or 4/3.
I mean,
Maybe package those to get a second, 2 of them to get a second, and then we're back in it. And there's plenty of receivers that we can get in the second round. Just
yeah,
like Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah,
could
out of
be there.
Arizona.
Yeah, T. Higgins, Chase Claypool, Laviska. All these guys could. I mean, some might go first round.
Yeah.
Some might be their second round. So I mean, there's plenty. There's a lot of guys I didn't mention that could be there too. But I mean, at 12, let's say we do make a pick and it's defense. I mean, I think best available, which I would go Kinlaw over Brown, just for the pass rush.
Yeah,
and I think he has more. Yeah, I think he has more upside. And then at 19 is we gotta take corner.
Yeah, corner. I'm looking at
trade back.
I like Diggs and Terrell personally. I like the ball skills that they both bring. AJ Terrell is if Diggs isn't available. I think just the penalties is kind of a bit much for me and probably underdeveloped. But I like Diggs, and I like him in the first round. Even in that mock draft when you were screaming for him, Fulton. I like Diggs more. I want turnovers.
Yeah.
Trayvon isn't going to get it, and it seems like Christian Fulton is similar to Trayvon.
A guy to watch for in like a later round. Like if we somehow could get a second round pick. Bryce Hall is the guy I'm looking out for. He had an injury that forced him to miss the final half of the season. But he's a press corner, long arms. He's 6'1". He could play zone, and he had 21 pass breakups the year before in his junior year, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So I mean, Bryce Hall's a guy that I've liked him before the season started, and obviously injuries caused him to fall a little bit. But if he's gone, yeah, I like Diggs. I like Gladney out of TCU.
Yeah,
I think
there's a lot of late first, second round talent in this cornerback class, and that's really why I want to jump back. Personally, I want to go to the late first, and I like trade back, try to get a second, and personally, I would even take an AJ Espinoza at like in the late rounds. If you trade back, you just try to get someone that can get production and sacks to rotate in. I mean, I want more edge rushers. I want more sacks. I want more numbers.
Yeah.
Like how the Niners did it. It was like relentless pressure on all fronts on the defense, but it started on that line. Like Max Crosby, Farrell, whatever they developed into, I think we need more. I take an AJ Espinoza. I take a Jalen Johnson corner out of Utah here.
Yeah.
He's got good vision. He talks the ball well. Like, and then you start getting to the second round where you start picking up other corners. You start picking up edge rushers, defensive line.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, we have a lot. I could see us taking like 2 to 3 corners in this draft.
Yeah, you have spoken about that, and I think there's enough. I mean, if we were to go to like, okay, so I'm thinking like we trade even to a late second, because that's only, for trading back in the first, they're giving us a second. They're going to have a late second.
Yeah.
Like a Tennessee Titans kind of deal.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at even the late second, and you have, I think it's Neville Gallimore, defensive lineman. Dude, this dude's crazy fast. Let me try to find him. Yeah, out of Oklahoma. 6'2", 304. Super fast. Defensive lineman.
Yeah.
He's raw, and I think of the late second round, I'm going after raw people. Like Noah, and I'm going to butcher this ass name. Igbenogany? Do you know how to pronounce that? Noah.
I do not.
Me either. But just a late second round corner that I think, dude, that dude is crazy fast. Or even these edge rushers.
Oh, yeah, I know. He's been projecting to go first round.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, for surefire, like all these guys. So in the most recent mock drafts I've been seeing, it's Okudah, Henderson, Gladney, and then that Noah and Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Not Diggs, AJ Tyrell. Those are all the guys I've been seeing go first round and then Christian Fulton, Diggs, Bryce Hall as being like the second round guys.
Yeah, normally in those mock drafts, like a different corner is fallen. Like I think a lot of people keep saying like, oh, projected first round. They probably have first round talent, which is amazing to like get and where they fall. But I mean, there's only 32 picks in the first round, so someone's got to fall, and that's why I want these second round picks. I want as many picks within the first 3 rounds as possible. Which brings us to, unfortunately, we don't have a second round pick, so that was all hypothetical. So
can I say, you're gonna hate me?
Okay.
Second, or I mean, if he's there in the 3rd round, I think we take him.
Take who?
It's a quarterback.
Jalen Hurts?
No.
Oh.
Jacob Eason.
No.
Yes.
The only quarterback I'm taking in the 3rd round, even, and it's going to be Jalen Hurts, who I don't even think is going to be there.
It's just because he's a scrambler.
Well,
but as far as
Mariota, so what are we doing with all these quarterbacks? I get it, Gruden camp, but we're not going to waste these picks when we have Mariota on the block, and we're not going to carry 3 quarterbacks in. Now,
Yeah,
if it's
man.
a Jalen Hurts where it's intriguing enough to keep him on the roster, you can keep him playing around. He's going to do stuff like a Taysom Hill type. If you're not producing, you shouldn't be on the roster as a third quarterback.
Yeah, man. Jacob Eason.
I would thoroughly be
Yeah.
like,
He's
why? Why
he's
are
got
we doing
that.
this?
He's got the arm. He's got the arm strength to. He can make all the throws, deep, short. Wherever you want to throw him, he'll make the throws. He's just very raw, which is why I like it. He'll sit back a year or two.
Do you know realistically where I see Jacob Easton going? Where he shouldn't be drafted, but I know where he's going to go?
Where?
I feel like Denver, dude.
No, because
I have a gut feeling that Denver's just going to take
I think they actually like Drew Lock. I think they actually like Drew Lock, so they won't take a quarterback. If anything, they'll take like a 5th round quarterback. But I really like Jacob Eason. He's one of those guys that wherever he goes, he's just gonna get the coach is just gonna love it just because he could groom him into whatever he wants.
Which brings us to the 3rd round. Personally, I mean, we have the 80th and the 81 pick, so we get 2 picks in just the early 3rd round. I have personally some dream picks is Troy Pride, cornerback.
This is for the 3rd.
Yeah, in Notre Dame, he's the 80th ranked. Would be perfect right here. Like you said, 2 to 3 corners. And then if we're getting one even in the 2nd round, if we're getting one in the 1st, why not another? He's fast. I mean, if you've seen anything in my dream picks, they're fast. Why? Because we have the Kansas City Chiefs in our division. They're all about speed. They have Hardman, they have Hill. Like, you can never have too much speed. That's why I like Troy Pride at the 3rd round. I think we can get him.
I have them projected to get DeAndre Swift at 32, which would just be more speed.
Yeah, like I just think they're going to be crazy fast. Like that's going to be their MO. Which I hate it because I like speed in Madden, but I'm never going to pick them. My other 3rd round dream is Troy Dye.
Yes.
Troy Dye out of Oregon.
Yes. I love Troy Dye.
Yeah, he's great in coverage. He's getting the rushing. He's a leader. I like him.
As a 1st round, I don't want us to take a linebacker. I don't want us to take Patrick Queen I won't be mad at it, but I prefer to shy away from a linebacker in the 1st round just to get a corner.
I don't want Kenneth Murray in the 1st because then honestly, I know he's pretty fast, so I wouldn't mind it. Like you said,
he's really fast,
but I want Patrick Queen.
I like them both. I know you like Patrick Queen because coverage, but at the same time, that is the reason we brought in Corey Littleton.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. So I would get that. And like I said,
I mean, if it's a matter, and then it's also we also have a guy a lot of people keep forgetting about in John Abram who can guard the tight ends.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But yes, Troy Dye.
Yes, I like Troy Dye, and I just think it's good that we already have 2 established linebackers where he can grow under to gain some strength. Another one is defensive lineman. Sorry. Is defensive lineman Raekwon Davis. Like I told you about, if Derek Brown falls to us at 12, I trade back because Raekwon Davis is a beast at 6'6", 311 pounds. He needs to improve in the pass rush, similar to Derek Brown, but he's a complete run stuffer. I mean, he's a big dude. He's eating up doubles, so I just think that's something we can get because Maurice Hurst is a good pass rushing defensive tackle. And he's good against the run, but I think if we have a legitimate run stuffer similar to like a Justin Ellis when we had him, just like eating up doubles, I think that'll help us out.
I have one that I would like to get in the third, maybe possibly even the second. And this is an offensive lineman, especially if we trade Gabe Jackson. Just because who's going to take over for him? Good, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't, maybe he doesn't pan out or whatever, we have just a backup in Tyler Biadasz out of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I am 100% down for an offensive lineman, even if we keep Gabe Jackson. I want us to keep Gabe Jackson.
I love Gabe Jackson.
I want us to keep him. I want us to get our second round pick not through him, but by trading back.
Yeah.
Because I like Gabe Jackson, but even if we lose Gabe Jackson, we trade him. I think we go after a guard, and this could be honestly in the fourth round. Just right there, right? But it's Netene Muti out of Fresno.
Okay.
Dude, he's just built like a guard. So I like him a lot at that pick in the fourth round.
Yeah.
He's 6'3", 315 pounds. He's just got raw strength, and he's built perfect for the guard position.
I just want 6'7" giants on our line.
Dude, I know, right? But,
I'm just saying that because I'm looking at
Alex Taylor,
Matt Pert out of Connecticut.
Bro. So yes, Alex Taylor, SEC State, is a monster. 6'8", 308 pounds. Oh.
Does he play inside or outside?
He plays tackle.
Okay. Oh yeah, the big guys usually play tackle just to give the quarterback a chance to see over.
His weaknesses are needs to add a significant amount of weight, and strength will not meet NFL standards right away. He's 6'8" and he's not strong. Why?
This is why we take Jacob Eason. So we move a guy, we get just a big ass O line, and then Jacob Eason 6'6", so you can just see over all of them. Tell you, man, Jacob Eason.
Another third round juicy pick I like is Van Jefferson. He's not
receiver.
Yes, he's not. He doesn't have top end speed. He is out of Florida. He's 6'2", 200 pounds, but he is crisp, and I mean crisp. I was watching the tape on him. The dude had people going out of the frame. Like Hunter Renfrow 2.0. So can we have two of them, please? Because in the third round, I mean, you take best talent, and I think he'd be a really good talent at that pick.
Another guy I would look out for that I personally like. Probably won't take him, but I like him. Anthony McFarland, running back.
I liked him.
He's just
for the
fast.
Yeah, I liked him for the fourth round.
Yeah,
he's super fast. But I also liked, if we're going into running backs, it is
AJ Dillon.
Yes, out of Boston College.
Yeah.
Oh, dude's fast and big. I want him. He's just a good. Like that's what I want as a
compliment
to Josh Jacobs. We had Jalen Richard. That's a pass catching back. He's going to be shifty. We relied heavily on him in fourth quarters. By the way, Jalen Richard for fourth quarter drives.
Yeah.
For pass cup for the passing. Now AJ Dillon is what we need for Josh Jacobs, so he can stop hurting his shoulder, so we can get a change of pace back. That's a third down back.
Yes, and especially since we lost DeAndre Washington to the Chiefs.
I don't mind that, just because I think Jalen Richard and DeAndre Washington were the same thing, and what they lacked was what we needed, and it's giving a change of pace to Josh Jacobs. I want I want like Scarborough. Like that's who I think of when they change of pace back. Like go out there, get 4 yards, just maul the shit out of someone in front of you.
Yeah,
and I think AJ Dillon is that.
I would not want another power back because we have that in Josh Jacobs, and I've never been a fan of having two of the same thing.
Well, I do in this sense only because we have a shifty back in Richard. I mean, if we can get a speedy guy like a McFarland, someone that can have breakaway speed, what I want is someone a home runner. But if that's not it, I want a power back. Dude, I want someone that's just like, hey, we need 4 yards. We need 4 yards when Josh Jacobs isn't here. Because that's a Belichick kind of move. Like, do your job.
We need a Lou Garrett Blunt kind of guy.
Yeah, but or a home runner, like you said. I mean, a speedy guy that could just take it all the way, but you need to be special in something. Another 4th round talent I like is Kavon Wallace, safety. Dude ran a 4.53 40, 5'11", 206 pounds. Versatile guy. That's where I take him. He can play a lot, pretty much any position.
Oh, Kavon Wallace, he said.
Yeah, out of.
We'll take him because he's out of Clemson.
Yeah, that's exactly when I was looking at him. I was like,
yep. I would not be surprised if we take a
Terrell because of it.
AJ Terrell because he's out of Clemson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we come and get him. And then we'll have our Clemson secondary.
Another 4th round is Logan Wilson, linebacker, just good coverage. They just pretty much called him a pure leader. 4-year starter, 3-year captain, sure tackler. I think it was just the lack of competition at the level. 40-yard notables, Javarius, cornerback / safety, 4.39. CJ Henderson, I think Javarius would be more of a 3rd round pick.
Javarius Davis?
Yeah.
Out of Auburn?
Yeah. Where was he ranked?
He's ranked 141.
Yeah, so probably going more in like the 3rd round. CJ Henderson, notable one, you wanted to take at 12, 4.39.
For that Jarvis Davis, he'd probably be more of a safety.
Yeah, that's where they had him.
Because I'm just looking at his stats here. His weaknesses are he's not great when the ball's in the air. Footwork is sloppy, and then his breaks need to be cleaner.
Yeah, I would definitely put him at the safety, but I just think he can play any position that later down the road when he develops.
Yeah,
he can play anywhere.
I just really want a fast corner. That's why I want CJ Henderson so bad. If like the top receivers aren't there, just because we need that speed to keep up with like the Chiefs.
AJ Terrell ran a 4.42.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
That's not a 4.3.
CJ was a 4.39. Okay, let's.
Still 4.3.
So you tell your girlfriend every night?
Yep.
It's tough. Okay, well that concludes the Raider talk. Let's bring in the Niner bitches.
So we're gonna be talking about the Niners, their draft needs specifically with the first 2 picks, obviously number 13 and then 31. If we decide to keep, what impact players, me personally as a Niner fan and Brian also as another Niner fan would want, or who we would like to target, or maybe a trade down option if that said player is not available. So me personally, I'm gonna go with in the 13th. It has to be either Ruggs, CD, or Judy. Ruggs, I'm leaning a little bit more of, if he's there, I'm okay trading back. If not, drafting Kinlaw at this point, or maybe an impact corner if one is still on the board. Just because I would like Ruggs because you can't teach that speed. But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I would still be happy if we did trade back, even with the 13th. If what corner wasn't there, and we ended up still taking Justin Jefferson later in the round. I'm really warming up to Justin Jefferson a lot.
Brian, so if all 3 wide receivers are there at the 13th pick, who do you want?
So in that case, I think the smartest would be an offensive tackle because that means one of them would fall.
Come on.
Von Killa is my draft crush, though.
Yeah.
So if he's there, but like Jaime was saying, I really like Justin Jefferson. But in that situation, we'll be trading down for probably like Falcons or even Cowboys, which
That relies heavily on what others ahead of you is going to do, obviously. So, I'm going to pan out some situations. I'm going to ask you guys.
All right.
Jets take an offensive lineman. Jets take anything other than a wide receiver. By pick 12, all three are available. The Raiders get Judy. It's a number one wide receiver. They take it. They feel like that's the player to pick. What do y'all do?
CD.
CD. Like first option for me, and I'm assuming Brian too, since he just said it, is CD. I feel like for me specifically, I consider him the best receiver in the draft, just because I like what he does physically compared to Judy. Judy has like his route running is exceptional right now as it is, but in terms of like physicality, I feel he's more of a finesse type of receiver, and we already tried that with Dante Pettis, and I don't want to risk the same thing happening. And like you, Gabe, you said this multiple times. You compare him a lot to Amari Cooper. I don't want to take that chance. You know, I would rather have CD.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
If now CD's no longer on that table, and it's just Judy or Ruggs, who are you guys taking?
I would still take Judy, even with those fears, just because I have those fears, but I feel like he would be a great addition because it's Shanahan who schemes so many receivers open, and especially you're adding one that can get open so well because he runs routes so good. It would be easy fit, but yeah, I guess I'll take Judy, but it's like slightly over Ruggs.
Brian?
Yeah, I would be cool with either, but just
Yeah,
devil's advocate on that. If we
Yeah.
do take Ruggs, everyone else on our offense is a yak monster. All our running backs, Tebow and Kittle.
Yeah.
So having a guy that could stretch the field with his speed is just going to add all that. But then if we do get Judy, he's just going to open up the field in the middle more. So
Mhm.
Jefferson's cool.
Yeah.
Now, Twitter rumors are flying, and they're whirling around, that possibly Denver Broncos trade up to the Cleveland spot, a pick before the Jets. So now you have the Jags, the Broncos in the scenario, the Jets, and the Raiders. Hypothetical in this situation, what do you do, Jets, the Raiders? In this hypothetical situation, all three are gone by even pick 12. Even if it's just Ruggs, me and Johnny spoke of taking a defensive player or trading back. So the only available player for you guys at 13 is Ruggs in this scenario. What are you guys doing?
Like I said before, like I'll be fine taking Ruggs any of the top three, but I would also not be upset if, say, there's a top corner there, and we took him, or if we got a good trade a trade offer, and we step back a couple picks, and we're still get some depth since we don't have anything till the 5th round, and we could still pick up a valuable piece, at that position like Justin Jefferson, or if Kinlaw is still there when we move back, I would be fine. But at the same time, I would also be happy with Ruggs. At this point, we're just retooling. We're not really rebuilding. So anybody that can make an impact right away, I consider a plus. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, I would go with Ruggs just because he's going to stretch the field, like I said before.
Yeah.
Then I really love Kinlaw. So
You guys, I can't. Unless the Raiders pick him up in that scenario, or we
Yeah.
can.
you there?
Yeah.
So
Going 9, 10, 11, 12, possibly going mostly wide receivers. I don't really. And there's someone there falling. I mean, it's got to be a juicy ass defensive player. If Broncos trade up for a wide receiver,
Yeah. I mean, the Broncos, they are paying a lot for their linemen, but they're not by any means like settled, for where they are right now in terms
Oh
of
no, I'm saying at like
talent.
12.
Oh, no, I don't want an
'Cause if-
offensive lineman. No.
No. If the
You neither, but
Broncos
it's a
trade
smart
up,
move.
yeah, if the Broncos trade up, they're taking a receiver. I don't think they trade up for a lineman.
If
But
we,
if yeah, it's at 12, like for the
Manny
Raiders,
Thomas,
yeah, there'd be a
Becton.
solid O line there. So I think someone will overpay.
yeah, but yeah, it's the smart move, Brian. But obviously, an offensive lineman is not going to help us at all this year, and we did.
No,
If
but
we
for
won the
next
Super Bowl, yeah, but I mean, I don't care. I mean, we need to win a Super Bowl. An offensive lineman is not going to win a Super Bowl.
Why? I think be that team that just like tries to shoot for the stars this season, fails, and then is detrimental to the following.
Yeah, but I don't consider that when you're like when you do drastic moves. Us drafting, being in a position where we need a corner and we need a receiver, and we draft a position for the future in offensive tackle or offensive lineman.
Alright.
I don't consider that an immediate impact. Where
What if you did this? You drafted a B-staff offensive lineman. With the
Mhm.
31st pick, you can take a wide receiver in this draft. Trade. I feel like who's one of your old linemen? Trade one of them. Get a third-round pick. Something. Boom. Corner.
like a lot of the good linemen in this draft that were tackles, and
which is what we need, because if we do draft alignments, we tackle first daily. So I don't
Yeah.
know the free agents next year, but then at the same time, if we trade back with our last pick, those group of corners are not really, they're good, but they're not like separating themselves with that last
yeah,
second. And I would say same thing with the receivers, where we could just draft one, plug them in, and they're gonna be good because they're all talented.
yeah, but I mean that's the thing. We need someone that's gonna make an immediate impact, and even then, I would consider maybe a late round receiver. He would have more of an impact than an offensive tackle that isn't gonna play this next coming year. You know what I mean? Like if there was guards in this draft, like Gabe was saying, like we could draft a guard and then trade one of our guards who isn't really that like we need, But that's the thing, like there isn't any really good offensive guards this
So
year.
who are
It's
your
all
tackles?
tackles.
It's Galecki, right?
McGlinchey and Staley. And I agree, and
Is
it makes
Staley,
sense
like,
to
on his
draft.
last leg, though?
He's
Last year.
yeah, well, he's extended I think 2 more years, no, Brian?
This is last year. That's
This
what I'm
one's his
saying.
last year?
Yeah. So we're building for next year, having that solidified.
Dude, you
I don't
guys
know,
literally
man.
went to the biggest game. Like you did lose defensive tackle. That was a beast.
And we did lose Emmanuel Sanders though. And that's the need we fit. Let's not forget
That's
before
why you get
Emmanuel
that at 31.
You can get that at the 31.
As I say, like corner and receiver at 31, we have a lot of choices. Whereas like in this scenario where an offensive tackle does fall, it could be worse, and worse could plug into the guard while we wait, and
Yeah.
that'd be instant upgrade.
I guess for me, it more depends on what specific lineman falls and then what receiver is still on the board. Because for me, I honestly think that like there's so much talk about the receivers that I honestly think it's just going to be like maybe 4 receivers drafted in the first round. I don't think it's going to be that many, just because everyone's going to talk about, oh well, there's so much depth that's kind of going to push it back a little bit. How last year, if you guys remember, there was talk of all these receivers and didn't only like 2 of them go in the first round. Marquise Brown and N'Keal Harry, and N'Keal Harry was the last pick.
No,
No?
I think Marquise Brown was the only one that was supposed to go first round that went for first round.
No, N'Keal Harry was supposed to go. DK was supposed to go.
DK wasn't supposed to go first. round.
After that combine, everyone was talking about him.
Everyone was saying that he should.
You cannot compare this wide receiver class to that.
No, I know, but I'm just saying because it's so deep,
They're
I
even
feel like
saying
everyone's.
that UK from Arizona State is a better prospect than N'Keal Harry.
Yeah.
And UK's not going in the first round.
He could have.
He could late.
Okay,
But-
yeah, there's things called like he's projected to go in the first. Yeah,
Yeah.
after a mock draft 7 point. There's only 32 picks in the first.
Yeah, there's only a certain amount of picks that could go in the
Like,
first.
yeah,
Exactly.
he's got first round talent. Doesn't mean he's going in the first round. And
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like this draft class is so deep that we have enough content for mock draft 14 because there's so many shifting from second round to first. People
Yeah.
jumping, people jumping back in, and it's justifiable.
Yeah.
In any scenario, let's just say you have your wide receiver set. Will you pick him with that 31?
Let's see what corners maybe on the board, if not I'll just trade it back.
Yeah, it's gonna be a trade for sure. Corner, it has to be corner, but they're doing a lot of work on all the defensive tackles in that area.
I just like who said, I think when we were talking, the three of us were talking, Johnny, me, and Gabe yesterday. I think someone, or no, was it Danny? He brought up Derek Brown or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but Derek Brown, like kind of how you said, Brian, during the mock draft, he's a run stuffer, right? You're kind of losing value on the pick if you're drafting a run stuffer.
Yeah.
So high.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't value.
One taking Derek
Ye-
Brown.
No, not him, but like how Brian's saying a defensive tackle.
Oh,
Like for a defensive tackle at 31, I don't know about that. I feel like it's a very wide margin, kind of how you talked about the corners being, maybe the top 2 or top 3, and then there's a giant gap. That's how I see the defensive tackles in this draft. There's like maybe 1 or 2 where you're like interior defensive tackles or defensive linemen in general, where you're like, okay, I could see that, and then after that, it's a big drop. So I feel like if it's not a position of strong suit, like even how Gabe said, we could take an offensive tackle in the 13th and the 31st, take a receiver, because it's a position where it's deep. If not, just trade back. Yeah.
I mean, there's Jalen Johnson that you know is going to be there. Noah out of Auburn. I can't even pronounce that name. By the way. Jeff
AJ
Gladney,
Terrell.
AJ
I would take
Terrell,
Gladney. I would take
I think my
Gladney.
favorite too.
Yeah.
Gladney.
He's
I
very
think-
similar to CJ Henderson.
Yeah.
For that reason, I think the Raiders take him at 19.
Pretty good.
I want CJ
Smart.
Henderson at 12 if the receivers aren't there. And then we take like a Justin Jefferson or then we trade back. So if their 3 receivers are gone, I was talking to Gabe earlier, I want them to trade back or take CJ at 12.
I don't know why everyone's saying that it's going to be 3 receivers gone by the time you guys pick, though. Like, I
No, I'm
don't.
saying
I don't.
is this a scenario?
It
I'm not
could
saying
be
it's going to happen.
Jags. It could
Scenario.
be either Jags.
I don't-
Jets,
I-
Jags, Broncos, Jets. So that's 3 right there. That
I can.
Yeah, they
I,
have
I
Or-
can. I can believe the Broncos
Possibility.
jumping in front. Like you guys are saying, but I don't think I'm not buying that Jags hype just because I did see the CBS mock where they took Judy, but that was only one. I don't see them taking a.
Dude,
a receiver. Yeah.
Like, dude, the Jags
No.
is riddled. Or not,
They traded away almost everybody.
it's what that team values. And the
Yeah.
Jags could possibly need a wide receiver. They needed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a scenario.
Hmm.
So if a team, let's say just someone just gets trigger happy and takes CD, even
Yeah.
before the Jags. And then there's a trade up, or even the Browns take them since they have Odell on the block, on the trade block. So maybe
Mhm.
they take a receiver, and then they say they're all gone by the 12th.
Because they're saying that even
I
the Jags might trade with Broncos.
Yeah.
So
I could see that one. That trade. Yeah.
Yeah.
so right there, that could be 3 wide receivers.
But that's only 2, and then you guys would be the third.
No, the
Possibly
Jets.
The Jets are
That's
now,
just. Yeah,
The
just
Jets
2
have
teams ahead of you.
no- What?
no.
If the
It'd
Jags
be the
trade with the Broncos, the
Browns,
Browns.
Jets, then us.
Browns need linemen. They didn't add any
This
linemen.
is a scenario. Jesus, especially
I-
since they're trading
See,
Odell.
Can I
If
ask?
they if they trade
how
him,
many
If you
man-hours
believe
have
that.
You spent in the scouting room of the Browns that you just know they're gonna get a lineman.
They're getting a lineman, bro. Like, I
I don't
want to
know,
make a
Brad had
bet.
him-
Hey,
Brad had
let's
him
do
take
a
McKinnon.
gentleman. Let's do a gentleman's bet right here. Gabe,
All right.
$10. All right.
10.
10
$10
bucks.
since they pick at 10.
Oh, that's a good one. All right.
Okay,
Alright.
it's a scenario,
Very
Jaime.
specific pick
They're
to
all
make, by the way.
gone by 12. All right, scenario. They're gone
Alright,
by
alright.
12.
All right.
I want CJ, or we
Mhm.
trade. If we take CJ, I want to trade back from 19. I want to trade back at some point in the first round.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
I wanna
Whether
get
it's at 12, if the receivers are gone, at 12 I trade back, or at 19 if we take CJ at
Yeah.
12. Because I love CJ. I think CJ's not better than Okuda, but I think he's more athletic than Okuda. And he's a lot faster too. But yeah, and then I think I wouldn't mind trading back from at that point, trade back 19 and then take like a Jalen Rager. Because he'll be similar to Ruggs as far as speed wise. So he'd be the next best scheme fit for us. But I mean, obviously there's Justin Jefferson and everything. But yeah, I think if I would trade back 19 and take Rager.
Yeah, if you trade back 19, you're not getting Jefferson because I think he's going to the Eagles.
That's
Yeah,
his
so I-
limit. He could go higher though.
Yeah, he could go higher. That's like the latest he'll go, you know?
He'll go higher, especially if the
Teams
like, the
start
top
taking
three
them
are-
early.
Yeah, if the top three are
Yeah.
gone, or if even if it's like even if we take the Judy or CD and there's only Ruggs left after
Yeah.
that, then I can see him go sooner than that.
Hmm.
Maybe even
Yeah.
you guys, just because of the I don't think you guys would take him that soon, but just because of the receivers you guys have right now.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. That's all we have, folks. Thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for today's episode. Next episode, we will be ranking the top 5 quarterbacks and top 5 wide receivers in this draft. We will also be discussing the whole draft as a whole, value picks, offensive value picks, those falling, those rising. So tune in, check out everything we got for the draft, guys. It's only